For most of us, getting our hands coordinated is easy, but getting our feet coordinated can be another story. There are hundreds of methods and exercises for accomplishing this, but my method is simple. Let's take a look at some basic exercises that I think work really well, especially for freeing up the left foot. So our feet begin to naturally get coordinated just in playing grooves. And so our right foot probably gets more coordinated and gets stronger than our left foot if we're playing drum set in the right-handed manner where the right foot is on the kick. And a lot of times that left foot is kind of left, maybe hanging out on 2 and 4, or maybe playing quarter notes along with the groove. Or if we're getting funkier, maybe playing the ands while we're playing a groove. And so a lot of times our left foot kind of naturally gets trained to keep time while the right foot plays more syncopated, more groove-based stuff because it's playing the kick drum. Well, a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to go to some extra effort in my practicing to try to kind of break that barrier and see if I could maybe coordinate my feet a little better with each other and with my hands so that I could play other things, other rhythms with my left foot. So I went back to the basics and I thought, well, how do we coordinate our hands? How did we get our hands coordinated when we first started playing? Well, the first exercises that pretty much everybody plays on drums are singles with each hand and then maybe alternating and then some doubles and paradiddles. Paradiddles especially because that really splits your brain in two. And you've got one pattern that your right hand's doing, and then you've got this left hand pattern that's offsetting it, and the goal is to smoothly fit it together so you're smoothly coordinating both sides of your brain. Now mentally, that gets you off to a nice start. When working with your feet, you've already got both sides of your brain working there. We're now just applying that same concept to different limbs. So let's take the same method we used for coordinating our hands and use that to coordinate our feet. I like to start this off just by playing some singles, alternating singles with my feet, and then going from that into some doubles. Right now we're going really slow, just 70 beats a minute and playing 16th notes. From there we can go into paradiddles. And this is something that you can take as slow as you want to go. The goal here is not speed. It's not even like crazy heel toe technique or anything yet. The goal is just to get it nice and smooth and solid because we're working on coordinating our feet. As we work that up, we can take the tempo up. We could take it at 100 beats a minute, gradually getting it faster, just like we did with our hands, starting off slow and gradually getting faster. Now we can take it faster and faster, but I will go ahead and be totally honest and tell you that I am not a metal drummer and I do not practice double bass stuff all day, and so I'm really not going to try to play it faster than 120 because I think it gets kind of ridiculous at that point playing paradiddles at 120 beats a minute anyways because it's not practical. It just becomes one of those crazy technique exercises that you can use to impress your friends. I don't know. No, not really. So at that point, we've worked on our hands, we've got our hands coordinated, we've got our feet coordinated. Well, now we've got to do some back and forth hand and foot, which has a very direct groove application, getting our right hand coordinated with our left foot, left hand coordinated with our right foot, etc. Here's the first way I like to do this. It's a lot of fun, where I'll basically play a paradiddle back and forth between my right foot and my left hand, and I'll play along with my right foot on the hi-hat. So it really has a cool kind of groove feel. It's like a syncopated groove. And then I like to switch that around and start it on the snare instead of the kick. And also put my right hand on the snare and now play my left hand on the hi-hat with the kick. So we've kind of got this open hand feel. Feels kind of weird at first, but practicing syncing up that left hand with the right foot can be really hard at first, and getting that clean can be tough. But when you do that, that really frees up your left hand to being able to play like syncopated accents on the hi-hat with your right foot, which is very practical and applicable to a lot of songs and groove situations. So now let's jump back into some double bass stuff. This time let's play paradiddles back and forth between each hand and each foot, alternating. There's 4 different ways we can do it. Right hand, right foot, left hand, right foot, right hand, left foot, and left hand, left foot. Here again, we started off very slowly and can from there gradually build it up faster. The cool thing about this is we're individually focusing these different parts of our brain, coordinating these different motions. Now you might be saying, okay, so what's the point of playing a left hand, left foot pattern back and forth when maybe I could just do left hand, right foot? Like, why does that make sense? Well, the reason that I like doing this and the reason I think it's worked well for me in my practicing and my playing is that all of this left foot stuff we're working on here on the double bass translates directly over to the hi-hat with our left foot. What I realized when I started practicing this was that, oh, now I can put my left foot on the hi-hat where it normally stays, because I don't play a lot of double bass stuff in the styles of music that I play, but I can play patterns back and forth between my right foot and my left foot as though I were playing double bass, and I can much more freely add syncopated left-hand hi-hat stuff into a groove. This also made keeping time with my left foot much more comfortable in my playing. It's something that I don't even have to think about, and I can change up the pattern if I want to and make it something totally different. Now really this left foot syncopation thing can become a really extensive topic, and so I don't even go into those kinds of grooves in this video because the video will get really long. So now one last thought, kind of about the alternating back and forth between the hands and the feet. The really cool thing about these exercises is that they really help with linear playing. Everybody's into these linear grooves and linear fills because they sound cool, and they're usually harder to play, but they have a more unique sound as a result. One type of linear pattern that's really not hard at all to play that I like doing is kind of a variation of the Bonham triplets, but I like to start with my right hand and do right hand, right foot, left hand, right foot, left hand, and do that sort of alternating triplet thing. That can be put in a lot of different note value contexts. It can be 8th notes, 16ths, 8th note triplets, 16th note triplets, 32nd notes, all depending on your tempo and what you're playing. So here's an example of a groove with some of these linear triplets thrown in, but these aren't always in the form of triplets. Sometimes they'll actually show up as 16ths, and then maybe they'll be 16th note triplets or something like that. But these are just some creative ideas that you can use as you're practicing this foot, hand, back and forth, independence kind of thing.